4, 3.
Good morning. I'm here with Thad Johnson, and he is a student at the Brookville Area High School, and he is a part of the robotics course. So Thad, what made you decide to take the robotics course here at Brookville?
So a couple years ago, whenever I went and transferred classes, I went into an engineering class, and since then fell in love with engineering. So I figured that a robotics class would be a good pick for me to have whenever I go. And now my major is going to be mechanical engineering, so it was very, very good for me to pick that one.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you can connect something that you plan to do after high school and you have an opportunity to do something like that here at Brookville.
Oh yeah.
And how long did it take you to build your robot?
For the basic clawbot, it takes about 2 days to build because you have instructions on how to do it. And for our robot, it took about a month of designing, planning everything out. We had to figure out basic schematics, everything, blueprints. It was a good time.
And what functions does it do?
Ours right now is just able to flip caps, which is just the basic thing to get points, and we're also able to go up and try to Alliance Park, which is the center parking in the middle of our game, which is all right, but there's other ones that we're going to have to be able to do in the future. For states this weekend coming up, we have to come up with a ball shooter to be able to shoot the 2 high posts. And then we also have to be able to try to high score, so we have to put another claw on the back of it just to make it so that it can score ones that other people cannot.
So it seems like there's multiple opportunities for you to gain points in the competition.
Oh yeah, way too many different ways, but a lot of different ways to do it.
And I know that you're in a group with Carrie Hook and Kyle Hall. What do you have like a system on how you complete things, and if you do certain things, or how does that work?
So Carrie is the programmer. So all he does is sit there at the computer the entire time and tries to figure out new ways to get things going faster, figure out more ways for an autonomous period. I'm the engineer in the group, so I have to write everything down. Everything on the board that we have is written so that I understand. Kyle is the main driver. Him and I both drove, but he is better at driving since he's more of a gamer and I'm not. But with everything put together, Kyle can do both. So it really helps out a lot actually with everybody in the team.
So you each have strengths and weaknesses, and you can have each other to lean on.
Yes.
So at a robotics competition, I know there's a lot of teams that go. What are like the order of events that people have them set up? How's that work out?
So for ours, whenever you get there, they have it all randomly selected. So they do a random generator. They put everybody into a generator, and then it selects 5 teams that you're going to be going up with, different times that you're going to have to go and play, all kinds of different things that you're going to have. Whenever you then later get to it, if you're in the top 12, you get to then pick the teams that you're going with. Now the worst part is if team 1 picks team number 3, then if team number 3 does not say yes, they are not able to be asked by another alliance. They have to wait their turn. So in our last competition, we had a deal made out with the other Brookville team that since they were 9th place, that if they weren't asked, that they could ask us then. But we later on got asked since we were in 12th place at this time, so we had to either say yes or we couldn't have said yes to the other Brookville team.
Yeah, wow, that seems like there's a lot of strategy in that to plan out to make sure you want to be with the certain people and watch the other teams as they compete. And you're not just focusing on you because you want to be with a good group.
There's a lot of different strategies we have to do to figure out everything.
And at the competition, what's the atmosphere? Is it like tense, exciting, or?
It's a little tense whenever you first go to your first game, but after that, it's really exciting. You get to meet all different kinds of people. You get to talk to different teams, see how their robot works. You get to see how they've programmed things, how everything just kind of fits together for that team. Because I know that we were talking to the North Clarion kids about theirs, and they ended up winning the competition 1st and 2nd place. So just talking to them, talking about their robots, how everything worked out, and it's really fun at that point.
What was it like to qualify for states? Because I know that both teams made it to the state, qualified for states.
It was fun. we're really pressing right now since we only have 2 weeks to figure out our robotic designs just for a ball shooter or for something to high score the caps. It's really exciting at the time, but right now we really have to grind it out so we can maybe move on to Worlds.
That sounds really exciting. I know you mentioned adding a ball shooter. What other kind of improvements do you have to add to your bot to make it for states?
So we have to put on either a ball shooter to score the high points because whenever we were in our competition, we noticed that a lot of other people didn't have those. Either that or we might have to add a claw to the back, which that'll pick up the cap, set them on top of the high post so that we can, at that point, instead of just getting 1 point just for the flipped caps, we can have 2 points then, and the other team usually can't get them off. So we try to get as many points as we can, and then we just try to alliance park right in the middle so we can get 6 points.
All right. And I have one final question. If a student watching this would take robotics, what would you recommend? What should they do?
All based on what you like to do. There's so many different variations of what you can do in the class. With Mr. Overly teaching it, we have he's always helping out with us. So like a person that likes to engineer could definitely do it. Just stick to the engineering portion of it, go in there, build them. We have 2 extra kits right now since we're going to be expecting more people to join. But there's also this whole other aspect of if you like to be on the computer, going through everything, making sure everything works, timing, everything. So it really fits into a lot of different things that we have.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us.